Good morning. So nice to see you as we kick off yet another 3+U. Hopefully your day is off to a terrific start. It is spring around the Tennessee Valley. For a lot of you out there, that means it's time to tackle perhaps a home improvement project. Big or small, you want to make sure you're doing it the right way and that you are in very competent hands. So lucky for you, you're watching the show this morning because we're very happy to have Brack Biggs back on the show. He has the honeydew service. And today he's going to give you the proverbial honeydew list. So take some notes because you want to help people this morning.
I sure do.
Nice to see you.
Good to be here. Good to be here.
You don't know this, but I had a conversation with my husband yesterday about an issue going on about a car. And we had a very, very honest assessment given to us where we could have spent a lot of money. We didn't.
Great.
Because of the honest assessment.
That's
and my
fantastic.
husband said, you know, you could have told me that the flux capacitor was bad and I would have figured out a way to replace it. So that's kind of what you're doing now on the home improvement side of things. You want people to know what they need to know before they hire somebody.
Yeah, I believe there's a lot of information out there that's contradictory, and sometimes it creates a lot of anxiety in homeowners as to what they should be prepared for or what they should do. And I just thought if I could bring some clarity to that today, that might be helpful.
I'm going to personalize it with you a little bit more because what you do at the honeydew service is I said big or small. If it's something where someone needs a heavy piece of furniture brought upstairs, y'all can do that. If it's a bathroom remodel, y'all can do that. So you have been going to people's homes and talking to them, and you get this sense that there's some unease there. And you want to empower people.
I really do.
So first thing on your list is know what you want done.
Correct. When you have a contractor coming to your house, regardless of what level of proficiency they might have, you want to be able to give them some sort of structure. We call it scope management.
Okay.
Whenever you're going in, you may have a list of honeydew items that you want to have done, 10, 15 items that's small tasks. You may have a large task like a bathroom remodel, kitchen remodel, attic conversion, basement conversion, addition. But when you have somebody coming in, you want to have the basic general scope of what you want done. So your goal is to try to get a proposal or quote that day.
Okay.
And the best way to do that is have that ready for them when they walk in.
Unless you've done something like this before, you're not going to know the details like the expert will that you're having come into your home. Is it good to ask a lot of questions?
Very much so, because the second point I usually talk about is it's important to be comfortable with the fact that you don't know certain things, that it's okay to not know different aspects. A lot of times people will come in there and say, I'm not really sure about what I need done here or how I need to walk through this. And it may take different approaches. You may be able to come to a quick conclusion right then. You might have to have a phased approach where you say, well, we're going to do this, and then how this turns out, we'll do this. You might need a design plan where you say, well, I want to know what kind of cabinets I have or what kind of flooring I'm going to put in, and I have different programs that you can utilize to be able to figure that out. And it might be something to where you have a build plan. You know you want to have an addition put onto your house, but you're not really sure what that's going to take for permits and things like that. So being able to bring that knowledge to them is important.
I like your third point because I think it's funny. Do you want Chuck with a truck, a handyman, or an actual contracting company?
One of the things that you want to do when you're going into the project is try to get a general understanding of the type of contractor that you want. Guys we call Chuck with a truck. I used to be Chuck with a truck, and basically he's a guy with a license, a driver's license, and driver's insurance, and that's it. He's coming into your house, and it's somebody Uncle Bob knew or somebody you heard from the hair salon, and those guys are great. They serve a very important purpose, and like I said, I was that for a long time. But then you're going to want to get certain levels of proficiency. The next level up you're going to be looking at is a handyman. Our industry is governed in the state of Tennessee by the Insurance and Commerce Commission. And you have to have a certain level of qualifications and financial backing to be able to be called a legitimate handyman. Up to $25,000 in work is usually the ceiling for a handyman. And they're very, can do proficient, a lot of small jobs. Not somebody you would want to have as a general contractor, which is somebody that's going to come in who has the ability to pull permits from the county, the state, the city, who's going to be able to provide you with a bill plan and do up to $500,000 or $1 million worth of work.
Okay, so here's where it gets tricky then, is how you validate the competency of the people who you're talking to. I'm going to skip ahead. Are you a believer in multiple bids?
I think that's a great plan. I think the only way that you're going to really be able to build a context is to get those multiple bids. When you bring contractors in, especially when you're dealing with general contractors, to have 2 or 3 bids is the ability to give you what is my budget and what are the optics I'm trying to achieve. And those are really the things that you're wanting to do. Assuming everybody's wanting to be quality, those are the 2 goals that you're trying to solve.
I only have about a minute left. Real quickly, ask some questions about scheduling, timeline. Is there still a supply chain issue? Know before you pay any money down what
Right.
to expect.
For instance, I had a very sweet lady the other day that wanted to pay me the entire job up front. It was a $9,000 job. And I said, well, I really appreciate her trusting me. It's very important when you're dealing with contractors, never pay more than half the deposit. But that's a reasonable ask because they're going to have to buy materials and set up the schedule for it. So there's a lot of things that client partners need to realize when they're going into it. But if they'll just check with the right sources, Better Business Bureau, city, county, they should be able to make good decisions.
In 30 seconds, if you are an experienced person in whichever realm of this you're in, you're expecting the questions, so don't be embarrassed to ask, correct?
Absolutely. Anybody that's not willing to help educate you through the process, that's a red flag.
Okay.
Also, anybody that's not at least 2 weeks out right now, that's a red flag. Most competent contractors are going to be 2, 3, 4 weeks out right now.
There you go. You heard it from the man himself. The Honeydew Service on North Point Boulevard, 843-4663 is their phone number, honeydewservice.com. Thank you, Brack.
Thank you.
Want a Zaxby's Big Zack snack meal for free? With free fingers?